Amazon sellers, if you're struggling to find profitable products for your Amazon business, it's not you. It's because you are making one of these two mistakes, if not both. The first one is you are looking in the wrong place. And the second one is you are using the wrong method to find profitable products. Now, if that's you, you need to listen up because this video is going to give you the entire breakdown of how to solve those two problems. This method I'm about to show you is a large reason why my Amazon business has scaled to 7 figures every single year for the last 3 years. With that being said, let's dive into the video so you can see the exact method that you can use to go from being a complete beginner to making 10K a month with Amazon FBA. I'll see you on the inside of the video.
The method that I'm about to break down in this video is called storefront stalking. Now, a lot of the things you've heard on social media aren't correct about storefront stalking. The way I'm about to show you is 1, using the best tool to use for storefront stalking, and 2 is going to help you find tons of products that you likely are ungated for. And that means that you basically can sell it without having to submit an invoice for approval. Now, what we're going to do is go to a listing that we know is an online arbitrage listing. That is step 1. And I'm going to verify this by looking at the Keepa chart. As you can see, pretty stable, a good amount of sellers. There's about anywhere from 10 to 40 sellers at any point in time, which is a good sign this is an online arbitrage listing. So this is a good listing we can find other sellers on. And what we're going to do as step 2 is go to the sellers here. So you can go either here. This is one place you can access all the other sellers. These are just other third-party sellers on this listing, and you're able to access their storefront from here. A second way to do it would be to go to the data tab and then go to offers. This way is actually really cool because you can access sellers who have been on the listing before and are no longer on it now. So we're gonna go here and click historical offers on the Keepa. This way we can see everybody that has been on it, and we can sort it by highest to lowest or lowest to highest, however you want. And for the purpose of this video, we'd probably want to sort it the other way around. Reason being is we're gonna target lower review count sellers, and I'll explain why in a second. So basically here we go from bottom to top. That's another way you can access seller storefront by clicking on it. So just so you know, let's do it the old school way. So we're going to click on this here, and we're going to go look for sellers with lower review counts. Now we're going to look for ones with less than 20 reviews. Reason being, these are relatively new sellers who are in the same boat as you with ungating. So they have newer accounts. Likely they're looking for smaller, medium-sized brands that they are able to sell. And that's why we look for the lower review counts. So we're going to look at Pace Retail with 4 reviews. That's a good one. Galapan, that's another good one. Solus, that's another good one. So we have about 3 or so right here. And these are all brand new sellers. Reason being is because they don't have a lot of reviews. And you get more reviews the longer you sell, basically, the more products you sell. So we're going to go to their storefront and click on it. We're going to notice that they carry. And I see a lot of common online arbitrage products. I see like accessories, these kinds of things. And then I see Dr. Bronner's. I've seen that for online arbitrage. Nutrisource, this product right here too. So what we're going to do is then click on Galopon here as well and look at what they offer. So it looks pretty similar. They're selling apparel, which is kind of like a dead giveaway. They have a lot of Puma and those type of brands. So they're probably doing some form of online arbitrage if they're selling Puma. So this is another good store. And then Pace Retail is another one here as well. So this one's good too. I see Yeti, and I've sold Yeti in the past, so I know this is an online arbitrage store most likely. So what we're going to do is actually take their seller IDs from here. Now, we just basically copy and paste here. And then this leads us to step 3. Step 3 is us going to the Keepa product finder. Now, this is where we are going to plug our sellers' storefronts in. So if we go to the Keepa product finder and we scroll down right here, all the way down to the seller tab, it's a little farther down, we can copy and paste these seller IDs. So I'm going to take them all one by one, and then we're going to run a little bit of storefront stalking, and we're going to look for products that are easy to ungate that we can actually sell on our storefront. And then what I will say, the more you sell, the easier ungating will become for you. So if you're kind of discouraged just start selling and getting products into the store, and then you'll be able to get around ungating really quickly. But doing this method is one of the best ways, in my opinion, to do it, is look for these lower review counts. So then we take the third one as well. So I'm going to take all of them. Make sure you separate it by a comma here so you can see that's how you actually will be able to add multiple storefronts. So from here we have 40 or 57 products. We can set a couple filters. 57 is not a lot of products. but it's definitely worthwhile to just set a couple filters just so we get it kind of narrowed down. So I'm looking for under 120,000 sales rank. This is basically showing you products that sell around 100 times a month or more. So really looking for faster movers. We can also put Amazon out of stock if we don't want to deal with Amazon selling itself on the listing. So that can be important as well. And now we're down to 48. And then the last thing we can do is either sort by category, or we can go to the offer count and then put, look for listings that have around 6 or more sellers. That could be helpful to show us more online arbitrage potential products. And then from here, we could also go to root category. We can look for beauty products or anything like that. But for the purpose of this, I'm likely just going to roll with the 40 products. It's not that many. So what we do is we click on each product one by one and we go through the Keep It chart. Now, this looks like an Easter item, to be honest with you. So I don't know if this is necessarily something that's going to still sell pretty well. It looks like this really sold very well right before Easter, and now sellers have started to come back on it. And it's hard to tell if that's going to maintain it, because if you look outside on the Keep It chart, it looks like it only sells about 50 times a month when it's not Easter. So that's really important to note, is that the seller count or the monthly sold is dropping. So this is a bad time to get in. This was definitely an Easter buy. We can also look through the Yetis and see if there's anything here. So I don't like this one because the offer count is going up. The price is falling. I would skip out on that one. That's a sign to stay away. This one is pretty solid. I mean, it's selling for $35. What we can do is go to Amazon, and then from here, what we can do is click the SellerAmp button, and then SellerAmp will take us to Google. And from there, we'll be able to check where we can find this product profitably at. We're going to hit this Google button on SellerAmp. It's going to load this into Google. So right here, I see Ace Hardware has this for about $20. That's a good sign. Maybe we can get it somewhere else a little bit cheaper. That might be the best play. So we're looking at different places that sell it. Wild Willies. This we would want to definitely check to see if this is a legit website, to be honest with you, because this seems a little too good to be true. Oh no, it's just a straw cap. I just noticed that. Okay. It's just like a replacement cap. So definitely don't buy that and just sell the cap. You would need the whole bottle here. But if Ace Hardware is our lowest price, let's say we're going to sell it for $20. So after running the numbers, we'll make about $4.37 a unit, 12.5% profit margin. This is a pretty solid first product for your store if you're able to get an invoice, which Ace might be able to give you one. So, that's not a bad first purchase. There's not like a crazy amount of sellers. It does sell about 200-300 times a month or so. So not a bad one. And then basically the process of what we would do is we would just rinse and repeat. We continually go through all these products, take down note of the stores that we found were the best. And how you'll know what store you found it from is pretty simple. So if you actually go on the listing, you'll see the seller that you are actually sourcing from in the buy box. Now you see Pace Retails right there. So that basically means that we would source it from this seller. So if this seller turned out to be good, we can save their storefront to a Google Sheet just by copy and pasting the URL right here. That's all you would need to do. And it's pretty simple. This is the URL, and that's how you basically keep record of all them. So from here, we continually just move on and keep going through the stores and see what else we can find. So I'm not a huge fan of Puma. I don't really like apparel. What we can do here as well with the Keep a Product Finder is pretty awesome, is we can actually say none of Puma. So if we don't want to source apparel, it has a lot of high returns. I'm not a great fan of it. So I can just hit no Puma, or brand is none of Puma, and then it will just exclude Puma from the search. So there's some toys here as well. This looks like a pretty solid Keep It chart, as you can see. So what we do is hit Amazon and continually roll through. It's kind of repetition. That's how you get really good at sourcing. So putting in, an hour or two a day of owning it on your craft, that's how you're going to get really good at this. And then obviously being able to scale and having somebody to help you along the way is definitely beneficial as well. But yeah, so we have the Sonic Hedgehog at Walmart for $9.97. Looks like maybe there's some other places. Walgreens sells this as well. Maybe we can use coupon codes at Walgreens and try to get our buy cost down. That would be incredible as well, to maybe get this down to, let's say, less than $10. But I don't know if that's going to give us enough. So what we could also do is go to shopping and see what other places are selling this item as well. It doesn't really look like there's much places where we can find it. So usually what I do is I check a couple stores and see if there's anywhere we can look for it profitably. And then if I don't find anything good, I just move on and go to the next one. So it's profitable. So I'm going to look right here and I see another really good keep it chart and the offer count's going down on this one. So good sign that the price is going to start to bounce back up. You can see the seller count goes down, price will start to theoretically go up. When offer count goes up, you can see price goes down. So let's look for this styling hair gel. What we're going to do is go to the Amazon listing and then load up our SellerAmp, and then we're going to go to Google from there. So I'm going to hit the Google button and we're going to go to SellerAmp. Looks like you can get this for about $6 and it's selling for $16 on Amazon. Now, the one thing we want to do is make sure it's the right size because it's pretty easy to hit the wrong size on accident. So it's a 500 milliliter is what we're looking for. Looks like this one is 500 milliliters and it is $6 from VP Barber Supply. So what we'd want to do is make sure that's a legitimate website, of course. How we do that is we simply type in VP Barber Supply and legit. So it's a pretty easy way to just make sure that they actually have a legitimate storefront. And it looks like they actually have a store in there in Tampa. So there's an actual storefront. That adds a lot of legitimacy to them. If Amazon looks it up for everyone to verify, they see that they're a legit store with Google reviews. So good sign there. And they're selling this for $6 a unit. So what we want to do is go to the Amazon listing and see how much profit we'll make for $6. So we make roughly $170. That's not that great. What we definitely want to do is see if we can get this lower than $6, maybe by applying a coupon code or something along those lines. So what we'd want to do is add a couple to the cart and then test it out and see, okay, will they give us potentially a coupon code that will work? So I'm just going to add a bunch to the cart to get us over that quantity. So maybe 12 will get us over the free shipping quantity. So actually there's not free shipping unless, let's see what it says when you hit that. At most. So you can actually reach out for a customized order. They might be able to give you a higher quantity there. So I went to checkout to see if we can actually get this lower. So what I did was I applied a coupon code with Capital One Shopping, and this gave me an extra 10% off. So I will say that you can definitely remove this shipping insurance. So I'm going to take $2 off in the sake of removing it. So with the $7 discount, we got it to $67 minus the $2 of removing the shipping insurance. It's $65 for 12 units. We plug that into our SellerAmp. Let's do 65 divided by 12 and see what the total is. So now we're above $2 profit, 14.5% profit margin. That's really, really solid. And it sells about 1,000 times a month. So if you could even sell 100 or 200 of these, that's an extra $200 to $400 profit every single month for your Amazon business. With that being said, this is the method that I've used to make 7 figures every single year with Amazon FBA. And if you want more complete breakdowns, definitely go ahead and subscribe to